Super Smash Bros. Coming to the Nintendo Switch is inevitable, but will it just be a port of Smash 4 from the Wii U, or will we be getting an entirely new iteration of Smash on the Nintendo Switch? What's going on, it's Cyroth here, bringing you a new Nintendo video, and today I just wanted to talk to you guys about my thoughts on the potential of Super Smash Bros. Coming to the Nintendo Switch, and whether it'll just be a port or an entirely new game that we'll be getting. And this is a debate that I see people talking about frequently in the Nintendo community, something that I have to address. Now, in my opinion at least, the Nintendo Switch releases have been very good up to this point in time. We're getting Zelda, Mario, Xenoblade 2 is coming up. All of those three are huge, open-ended games that have vast worlds that you'd be able to explore through, and there's also fun shooters on it like Splatoon 2, fighting games like ARMS and Pokken Tournament, as well as many others. And the library of games to play on the Nintendo Switch is only going to get bigger as we go into 2018, with games like a main series, Fire Emblem, and possibly Metroid and Pokemon releasing in the same year. But how Nintendo could make 2018 even better is if they include Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo Switch. Now, I think that if Smash comes out in 2018, it'll most definitely be a port of Smash 4 from the Wii U. However, is it likely that we'll be getting a port here? Now, the initial rumors before the launch of the Nintendo Switch back in the NX days were that we'd be getting Smash 4 just ported from the Wii U to the Nintendo Switch, and it'll include all sorts of the DLC, very similar to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where it just included all the DLC from that game, as well as a couple new racers, just like with Smash Brothers potentially being ported to the Nintendo Switch. Probably get a couple new characters and stages in there as well. And to be completely honest, I'd be perfectly fine with this. Smash 4 was a great game. I'd love to experience it on the go and a home console with just one purchase, instead of having to purchase Smash 4 on the Wii U and the 3DS to get that portable and console experience. It'd also be good for the people who have never owned a Wii U or 3DS and are just buying the Switch for the first time. By the way the Nintendo Switch is selling, it definitely doesn't seem to be a niche console that's only exclusively for Nintendo fans. It's selling really well right now, and I think it's drawing in a lot of new fans to go and purchase a Switch, so potentially a lot of them haven't played Super Smash Bros. Yet. I think Smash 4, just as a game on its own, is a great mix, being a much faster style of game than Brawl was, but also being a little bit slower than Melee, just to appeal to the less hardcore Smash fans, more the casuals. I know the hardcore Smash fans are kind of upset about this, and they want it to be more fast-paced like Melee. However, for the casuals, it definitely helps to have a bit of a slower style like this. It eases them into the gameplay a bit more. A Smash 4 port to the Nintendo Switch would also be good for the people who bought it on the Wii U and 3DS and didn't want to actually pay for the DLCs of all these new characters that came in, like Bayonetta and Cloud Strife. The biggest reason, though, is that it'll be the easiest to bring to the Switch, because all you have to do is port. I mean, I'm not a game developer, so I don't necessarily know how easy it is, but I'm definitely sure of this, that Super Smash Bros. Being ported from the Wii U to the Switch would be way easier than making an entirely new Smash Bros. Game for the system. I mean, of course, it would have to be downscaled to go onto the portable mode of the Nintendo Switch, and perhaps upscaled a little bit for the TV mode, but that's pretty much it. I mean, you have to code in some new characters, but you'd have to do that for a brand new iteration of Smash anyway, probably make an entirely new engine for a new Smash, so it'd just take a lot more effort there. If we would be getting an entirely new iteration of Super Smash Bros., I do not think it'll be arriving in 2018 like a port, which I believe would arrive next year. This is just due to the last point, because it'll take significantly less time to bring an older game to the Nintendo Switch as a port rather than make an entirely new one. But let's say that Nintendo doesn't want to have one of its biggest years ever in 2018. Let's just say that they want to hold off Smash, create an entirely new one, build up some suspense for it. After all, every single Nintendo home console has gone a brand new iteration of Super Smash Bros. On it, so Nintendo would probably want to do the same for Smash 5, right? Well, I'm not entirely sure of this, because it's been that way with Mario Kart games, having one Mario Kart per system, never more than one. However, now we've gotten a port of the same Mario Kart game from the Wii U on the Nintendo Switch in the form of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I think it's still possible that we'll be getting Mario Kart 9 on it, but that's the subject for a future video. My main point out of that is it's still possible to have the port of Smash onto the Switch. It's not not disproven because historically we've gotten a new one on each system. No, it's still possible to have a port because other Nintendo games that have that same principle applied to their specific series have violated that rule and have just been ported to the Switch to flesh out the games library as fast as possible. So I think it'll be better to receive an entirely new iteration of Super Smash Bros. Yes. I would love to see what Nintendo has in store for the future of the Smash series. You could argue it as one of the biggest series that they have, up along with the lines of Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon, but it is different in that it has a very sporadic release schedule. We can never really expect when the next iteration of Smash will arrive on a console because it's always a multi-year gap and very inconsistent with how many years. We'll just estimate 5, and that'll bring it around to 2019. I know it's kind of crazy that Smash actually came out in November of 2014, and we've still been playing that game since that time. It just shows the lasting impact that a Super Smash Bros. Game has, the replayability factor that game brings. That's another reason why it's different from other Nintendo series, not just because it brings in all sorts of Nintendo characters from all sorts of universes into one game, allowing anybody to choose their favorite Nintendo character, play as them against their friends, against computers, even in the main story mode of the Subspace Emissary, which is one feature that was absent from Smash 4. However, I think it could be brought into a Smash 4 port onto the Nintendo Switch as a form of new content added to that game as an extra incentive for people to buy it who already bought Super Smash Bros. 4 on the Wii U or 3DS and are debating if it's worth it for them to buy it on the Nintendo Switch again. It's like, and I use this analogy again, that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was brought to the Switch, but it introduced the battle mode, a brand new mode, as an incentive for the people who already bought Mario Kart 8 before to buy it again for the Nintendo Switch. That is something that you have to keep in mind if you're Nintendo. You're not just appealing to the new fans, which there are probably a lot of, but you're also appealing to the actual Nintendo fans who carried over from the Wii U to buy the Nintendo Switch, probably bought a lot of games on the Wii U and enjoyed them because it was actually a really good library. However, now they're debating, should I spend my money on another port coming to the Nintendo Switch? Like, is it really worth it for me to do this? So yes, I think it's possible that the Subspace Emissary could be added to Smash 4 on the Switch, along with potential new characters and stages, as anybody would really expect from Smash coming to the Switch like that. However, if Smash turns out to be an entirely new iteration on the Switch, I definitely think that we'll be getting entirely new stages and characters, and probably a roster reset. And yes, I will probably talk about a roster reset, the potential of that, new characters I'd like to see in Smash in a future video. I'll talk about the future of Smash on my channel in a little bit. And potentially for a brand new iteration of Super Smash Bros., we could be getting the Subspace Emissary mode, a new version of that added to that game as well. I'm not just saying that it's an exclusive that could just be added for Smash 4 coming to the Nintendo Switch. No, I don't think that's the case. Now I'm just gonna focus on the possibility of the new iteration of Super Smash Bros. Coming to the Nintendo Switch, and I think the core advantage to it is that it is a new Smash Bros. Game, and you won't have to worry about adding all sorts of new content to the past Smash Bros. Games. If you just make this new one, people are gonna buy it anyways. The new people coming in, purchasing a Nintendo Switch, they see Smash Bros., they see Mario, Link, Pikachu, all these other famous Nintendo characters on the cover of Smash. They're gonna go and buy that game. And the hardcore Nintendo fans think, oh my goodness, this is a brand new iteration of Smash Brothers. I have to get it. It's going to be a must buy for the console. Smash is always a great buy for the Nintendo console. That is going to be something that's worth picking up, and that is the core advantage to a new Smash Brothers. A new Smash could probably get an entirely new graphic style, the roster reset. As I mentioned, Nintendo could have to worry about developing less characters. They won't have to put in all of the code for the old characters that were already programmed them, they won't have to remake them, they won't have to update movesets, they won't have to worry about any of that if they don't want to put in the 60 characters or however many were included in Smash 4. If they want to reset it and sort of make it a smaller roster for Super Smash Brothers, let's say they want to put in 30 to 40 characters. Now I can't really see a huge downgrade like this, but if Nintendo really wants to do that, it would be okay because it's a new Smash, it's a new era of Nintendo gaming, and I get that this era has been pushing forward for more open games like I mentioned earlier in the video. Zelda and Mario and Xenoblade, which is coming out soon, all new big games, open-ended games that are coming out on the Switch, so you're expecting Super Smash Brothers to follow in that style. But if it's a new Smash, then you could still have a smaller roster, but pack in some more content in there because you're increasing the size of these games. Not specifically the file size of anything. The file size is going down because Nintendo's compression software has gotten really good for that purpose, but the amount of content within the game is increasing. So, if a Subspace Emissary mode were to be included, I think it could be even more advanced than it was in Brawl. Perhaps even just give us an overworld to go around in and then go to specific areas, fight the bosses like were included in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Just make it bigger, make it more. That's what Mario Odyssey has done for the Mario series, but potentially for the future of Mario games, it's going to make them more open-ended and expansive, and that's the topic that I talked about in a video I put out a couple weeks ago. If a new Super Smash Bros. Was to reach the Nintendo Switch, it would revolutionize the platform because that's what Smash does. I mentioned earlier that how I'm still playing Super Smash Bros. 4. I'm still enjoying it, trying out new characters, trying out new strategies, playing online, playing with friends. It's just a game that has a massive lasting impact. Don't let any of the reviews convince you of anything of Super Smash Bros., whether they're negative on that it got rid of the Subspace Emissary that was in Brawl or not. The fact that it's a fighter that keeps drawing you in and makes you want to play more of that fighting game is the goal. You don't necessarily go into a fighting game for the same reason that you would hop into Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the more open-ended adventuring puzzle experience. No, you hop into it for some quick, fast-paced fighting action. But for those who want more content, this new era, these new games coming out to the Nintendo Switch, being huge games that gives you lots to explore through, it gives you some more single player content to keep you even more busy for Smash, so that the only incentive for you to come back is not the only one anymore. You actually have more than one. You can complete that single player campaign, the new Subspace Emissary, whatever it ends up being called, as well as just the regular incentive of picking up Smash and playing it with the person next to you, with that local play of the Nintendo Switch being portable or at home. So in my opinion, guys, what I think is more likely to come to the Nintendo Switch is a brand new iteration of Super Smash Bros. Yeah, it would be much easier for Nintendo to bring over Smash 4, and they'd be able to release it a lot sooner, so they'd be able to tout out that they have more games out, more big games for the Nintendo Switch. However, I still think that that ability to call it an entirely new Super Smash Bros. Game is going to be the key selling point here, and that is what's going to draw in the most people. And for that, you're going to need a brand new Super Smash Bros. And in my opinion, I think that's what the fans are going to enjoy more too. Now, in the future, I actually plan on making a video talking about 10 new characters that I'd like to see in a new Super Smash Bros. Game on the Nintendo Switch. So remember to subscribe and tick the bell icon so you will not miss that video and more other ones about Super Smash Bros. And Nintendo gaming when they release. If you want to hear about how Super Mario Odyssey will change the future of Nintendo Switch games, click on the link on the left, and if you want to see all of my countdown videos, click on the playlist on the right. Have a great day.